Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
Yo, what's going on, Miami Hurricanes fans and my college football family and George? I see him. By golly, we even have George in the building tonight. Nobody has any excuses to not be here. George, the Florida Gator, is in the building. Very happy to see you guys here tonight on a Friday night, spending some time with Coop and the college football family. Just a little bit of a short stream tonight. We'll probably go for about an hour or so, somewhere around in there. I originally had planned on doing the ACC tier list tonight, which would have been really exciting, but I didn't get all of my notes done in time. So it put me a little bit behind, and I just honestly wasn't fully prepared for it. So I didn't feel comfortable doing the ACC tier list. I take those things serious, man. I want to try to get as close as I possibly can, so I didn't have all of the information available, and I was like, we're going to have to push it out a week. So I kind of scrambled about 2 hours ago, and I was like, let's jump on the trend, because we know how everything's going to AI, right? Self-driving cars. We have this ChatGPT thing that can basically do your work for you. Just punch it in and it'll answer questions and all these things. So we are going to go to ChatGPT, which is basically an artificial intelligence. And we are going to have it predict the Miami Hurricanes 2025 season game by game. And we're going to have it give a breakdown. We're going to have it kind of summarize the game. And we are going to see what it thinks about this season. You know, each person is going to, it's up to you basically to decide how much you really, how much weight you believe that this holds, or that this carries. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, but it's an AI. It's an AI, right? But it's going to be interesting to compare its prediction to mine and to yours. And we'll talk more about those here in a little bit as well. But it should still be a good time. I want to see what the AI believes. Does it think that Miami can beat Notre Dame week 1? Does it think that Miami is going to whoop up on them dirty, stinking Florida Gators? I think it will, but we'll have to see. Can everybody hear me all right? I continue to make some tech changes to my setup as the actual season is approaching. So we're doing some small changes that may or may not be noticeable. Just let me know if you can hear me okay. A thumbs up or a yes or an okay would be very much appreciated. Randy was here bright and early. Randy, I appreciate you, Randy. Randy's been hanging out in my Twitch streams, and we've been playing some video games and talking games and stuff. I appreciate that, Randy. I have not figured out the leaderboard. Nope. I have no idea what that's about yet. Still don't. Salty Rand checking in. Card King 305. Good to see you. Tyson. Canes over Notre Dame by 2 touchdowns. All right. That's what we like to hear, Tyson. I like the confidence. We got Jake checking in as well. As we said, George. Shout out to George. He still continues to show his face no matter what happens, and I got respect for that. My man Sage, Nick 305, Canes. David. Let's go AI, baby. It's taking over the world. They're going to take our jobs. Card King 305. Who else we got? Cypher. No way AI could ever be wrong. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. So if the majority of the Canes fan base is feeling 11-1, 12-0, And the AI program spits out 7 and 5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We might need to be hitting the panic button. What's up, Blake Metz? Good to see you as well. Bean B. Uh-oh, Coop is live. You're darn right. You're darn right, Coop is live. Hold on, let me grab something. So kind of a spur of the moment stream slash topic, but those usually turn out pretty fun. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it tonight. You're putting getting G my house on whatever AI says. All right, bet the mortgage. Bet the mortgage on whatever the AI predicts tonight. Go Titans. I agree. I agree. Tighten up, my friend. So I appreciate all of you being here. Again, I think this is going to be pretty fun. We're going to go game by game. I know that the key supposedly to ChatGPT and just AI stuff in general is to be as specific as possible and to provide some details and let it know what you want from it. So we're going to let it know that we want a detailed breakdown here of game by game, what happens, potentially even score predictions mixed in as well if it will give us those, but at least we want W's and L's and game by game. And we might even do some postseason stuff, conference championship stuff, CFP, if you know, it believes that Miami might get there. So we'll see. So y'all can hear me okay? Loud and clear? Sounds good? Sounds good? All right. Thank you, thank you. Coop, are you okay? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I had a bunch of house repairs and things to do this week, electrical work, and of course, there's always the plumbing, Coop the plumber, and all of it went wrong. All of it. It's still not fixed. I was working on it today. I was on an extension ladder in the back of a truck. So the extension ladder in the back of the truck, up on top, up on a pole, messing with the light fixture and stuff. And oh man, it's just a pain in the butt. Just a pain in the butt. So when we did the way too early season prediction, just as a recap here, let me see if I can find what you guys had put. That we did a community way too early season prediction where I put it to a vote. I put up a poll. We went game by game, briefly discussed it, hit some of the high notes, some changes, coaching changes, quarterback changes, transfer portal, additions on the roster, things like that. And I asked you guys to tell me, hey, W or L, what do you have? And for those of you who weren't here, you might be shocked at the outcome. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me find it. All right, let's see if y'all will be able to see this. Let's see. Okay, I'm just covering the bottom part. So let's move me. Okay, boom. So this was the official way too early season predictions with mine on the left and the community, aka you guys, the majority, your way too early season prediction. And everybody came together and voted game by game and came up with 12-0. And I'll be honest, I was shocked. I really was. I thought that it was probably going to be closer to 10-2. Now, for some additional context, there were some games that were somewhat close. I have to go with the majority, but there were games that were like 60-40. Some of them that were possibly kind of close to a toss-up. Not quite 50-50, but getting there. And, not everyone participated, but we got to go with the majority. My prediction, way too early, is on the left. The only L that I had was to SMU. Rhett Lashley dialing up something special in Dallas, Texas, mini Miami, and them kind of sneaking up on the Canes and beating us in November, because them November games are sketchy for sure, especially late. But I had 11-1. You guys had 12-0. So with that being said, I'll leave that up so we can reference that later. we're going to see what AI thinks. What does AI think? It knows everything, right? It's smarter than all of us. It takes everyone's brains and combines all that power together, all this computing power. It's got to be right. It has way more resources than we do, you know? What's up, retired Go Canes? Canes and Tighten Up fam checking in from Memphis. Old Jags fan. Well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. You chose the right team. What's up, Tropical? A loss to SMU. WTF, Coop. What do you got? What do you got? We'll see. Used to watch you at work, but now you're retired, so watching me from home. Let's go, Robert. From the comfort of your home. I appreciate you always watching me, Robert. I appreciate that. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Where did I go? Boom, I'm right here. All right, so what's going to be fun here is let's go game by game and let's get reactions in the chat. So if you think that AI is on some bullish, put it in there. Put it in there. Let's talk about it. Let's chop it up. Let's get mad. Let's curse this computer. Let's curse the AI. Or maybe you agree with it. Yeah, maybe you agree with it. Let me add your guys' pinned comments here so we can see them on the screen. Because I know you guys are going to have some good stuff to say about this. So let's get them up there. Okay, we'll say, let's see. Maybe above my head. Can y'all read that? Let's try like a big one. Yeah, I think y'all can read that, right? I think that's readable. Can you read that? Tyson says if our secondary plays status quo, barring major injuries, I think we have a shot to improve the record over last season. I think 11 to 12 wins should be the standard. I think bare minimum, the expectation from the fan base should be ACC championship game appearance. Am I crazy for thinking that? Because a lot of people said, yeah, but Coop, you got to understand Carson Beck had limited participation in spring. You got to remember new defensive coordinator. So even though it's an upgrade, got to be careful there. Tougher schedule on paper. I still think the expectation, I'm not saying that's my prediction. I still think the expectation should be ACC championship game appearance. I'm not even saying the Canes have to win it. Boy, I'm hoping they do, but they have to make it there. There's no reason. Look, I'm just going to say it. I'm fed up, man, with me kind of setting the bar a little bit low. This season, after what happened last year, with SMU making it to the ACC championship game and watching them play in Rhett Lashley's first year in the conference, it made me sick. It made me realize that we can't sit back and be like, well, but Carson Beck this or that. Well, if this hadn't have happened, that's bull, man. That's bull. After the talent that Miami has continued to stack up, they've recruited the big boys up front. We're not worried about playing SEC teams anymore. We went out and got the number 1 ranked transfer portal quarterback because Carson Beck was put at the top as soon as he hit the portal, even coming off of the injury. I'm not saying your prediction should be that, but I'm saying that my personal expectation is ACC championship game in year 4 for Mario Cristobal, 100%. 100%. And I'll be pissed if they don't make it. They better be there. And I don't know, look, I don't know exactly what that means, like what it'll take to get there, because it depends on how the ACC plays out. 1 ACC loss could be in. 2 ACC losses could be in. I don't know. I know overall, I think most people believe it's going to be Clemson. I mean, Clemson has a pretty elite defense returning. I think you have Cade Klubnik going into year 4. He had his best season yet last year. Clemson is going to be pretty nasty. They're probably going to be pretty good. I think they open with LSU, so that's a non-conference game, but, see kind of how that plays out on a big stage there. But Miami's got to be in the ACC championship game. That's going to be my push this season. No excuses. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's year 4. They have won more games every single season. If they still win 10, it better be enough. Those 2 losses better still be in a way to teams that allow them to get into the ACC championship game. I'm not sitting at home. I'm not sitting on the sideline and watching Clemson and Pitt, SMU and Duke. Come on, bro. Come on. Anyways, that got me off on a little rant. Chris. I can explain after the stream. Off stream. I can explain. What's up, Patty? Good to see Patty in here. My opinion, we finished worse than last year. We had a better roster with an easier schedule and couldn't get to the ACC playoffs. Game day coaching will lose us 2 games. We will lose another ourselves, 9-3. Now, 9-3, see, who are those losses to? Is the 9-3 a loss to Notre Dame, Florida, and then a conference game, an ACC opponent? Because that could still be an ACC championship game appearance. That's the thing. I understand where you're coming from. My thing is, it's just kind of, it's not about being positive or negative. What's up, MS? Good to see you, bro. How you feeling? Did your recovery and everything? I know it's been months ago, but did it go well? You feeling good? I hope so. I don't care about we couldn't do it last year with Cam Ward and that cupcake schedule. Because it truly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It would only matter if every single variable was the same going into each and every season. If every team we played had the same players, we played them at the same place at the same time, and everything happened based more or less the same way. It's not the case. It's different. You could even have a situation where Miami might not be as good offensively, but they could still end up winning the same amount or more football games, depending on how the other teams play, depending on how the defense does. There's just too much that goes into it. So I think it's every person's allowed to have their opinion, but I think it's just crazy to say, you know what? I want to say we do this, but Miami's not going to because of what they had last year and couldn't do last year. Am I crazy? I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Oh, I am. All right. See, that's what I'm saying, though. I don't get that argument. I really don't get that argument. I don't get it. So anyways, let's get into it here. Let's type in the prompts. Let's figure out what we need to do. Let's start going game by game here. So let's see. Predict Miami Hurricanes football 2025 season record going game, but give me some suggestions if you think I should tweak this, because we need to be pretty specific here. Predict Miami Hurricanes football 2025 season record going game by game. I need a good prompt. Here. Predict Miami Hurricanes football 2025 season record going game by game and going game by game with score predictions. Why am I being nice? I'm like, look, please, thank you. I'm trying to be nice to the AI, like it's going to give us more wins or something. Predict Miami Hurricanes football 2025 season record. Going game by game with score predictions. I would also like yeah, we got to be nice. The robots will remember this. They'll remember that I was nice. Predict score and give a short explanation on the outcome of each game. Much better. Much better, Blake. Okay. Give a short explanation on the outcome of each game. Okay, predict Miami Hurricanes football 2025 season. 2025 season. Game by game with score predictions. Give a short explanation on the outcome of each game. What is short? Just brief, just short. Something, we don't want a full-blown analysis of some made-up scenario of what happens in the game, right? Just kind of, if it thinks, we'll let it do its thing. We'll see. Up Straight Street 6. You're an electrician? Well, it's still not fixed, so I might need to call you. It still ain't fixed. Still ain't fixed. The troll's alive in the chat tonight. Good. Predict the Miami Hurricanes football 2025 season. Going game by game with score predictions. Give a short explanation on the outcome of each game. Is that enough? Did we just send that? Can you also provide a final? No. Let's start with this. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's short, sweet, to the point, but it's enough info. Give a short explanation on the outcome of each game. Okay, let's send it. We're not trying to get a specific answer out of it, but if we have to redo the prompt, I'm going to say we're allowed to do that because I want to make sure it is giving an explanation for each game, a brief breakdown, and W or L, and possibly a score prediction. So let's send it. Here we go. Okay. Here's a game-by-game 2025 prediction for the Miami Hurricanes based on their announced schedule. Here we go. And they already got the W on Notre Dame. Oh, baby. Okay. Let's, we need to zoom this in a little more. Zoom that in. Okay. Can y'all read that? GPT is wrong. Y'all not beating Notre Dame. This is, look. This thing has more computing power and resources that it can utilize than everyone here combined. It has to be right. That's all I'm going to say. It has to be right. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's take a look at game number 1 on a Sunday night against Notre Dame at Hard Rock Stadium. It better be lit. Prediction: Miami 27, Notre Dame 24. Why? A primetime curtain raiser. Miami's home crowd energy edges out a close call, though Notre Dame's stout defense keeps it tight. I'm going to go ahead and applaud ChatGPT for that one. Okay, so the Miami fan base shows up. The Miami fan base shows up for the Notre Dame game, and the Canes get a W. Okay. All right. Now, it's going to be interesting because, right, this is going to be a receipt. This is going to be something that we look back on in December or January, and we do a ChatGPT recap. How close did it get? How close was Coop? How close was the community? How close was ChatGPT? How close was the PlayStation 5 on CFB 26? We're going to find out. What's up, Doug? Are you an artificial intelligence user, Duck? Okay. I do think that game is going to be packed. All joking aside, everybody, points and laughs at Miami when it comes to attendance at Hard Rock Stadium. I don't know what the split is going to be between Notre Dame fans and Miami fans. Notre Dame fans are going to want to show up because they want revenge. And let's just be real, they're probably going to have some bandwagon fans, being the national championship runner-up team. And they're going to want to show up on a Sunday night, big game. It'll be loud. It will be loud. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? He uses it daily, my man. Uses it daily. So 1-0 for the Canes, according to ChatGPT. Let's move on to game number 2 against Bethune-Cookman. A W and a big one. ChatGPT is not an idiot. 45-10. Why? A dominant showing from the Canes. Plenty of offense. Minimal resistance. Are we going to the Notre Dame game? I don't know. I don't know. I hate that I missed 2017. I would hate even more if I decided to go to the 2025 matchup and we lost and everyone said it was my fault because I'm going to be doing a diss track for that game. However, think about how cool it would be to be there. Think about how cool it would be. Maybe. Trap game. Oh, yeah, trap game. Yep. We'll talk about it when I finally call you, Chris, which will happen when I finally call you. Okay, so 2-0. 2-0. No reason to think too much about the Bethune-Cookman or read into it. If we lose to Bethune-Cookman, I'll delete my YouTube channel and we'll just call it quits. We'll be done. Clip it and ship it. All right, moving on. USF, the Big Bad Bulls. All right. Miami 38, USF 17. Why? In-state bragging rights. Miami's balance of run and pass overwhelms USF early. All right. So far, so good. What's up, Kurt? Good to see you, my friend. Let me know how you been. I'm doing good, Bruce. I'm doing good, my man. I appreciate still what you did for me. I know that I told you over the phone, but thank you, my friend. I want that Notre Dame win more than anything. I just don't want the aftermath of last time we beat them. That was the beginning of the end for Richt, if you look back at it. Believe it or not, I don't want the Notre Dame win more than anything. That's not me. I want the ACC championship game more than anything. And if I were put in a position where Miami had to lose Notre Dame and or Florida, and it meant ACC championship game appearance, I'd take it. I get it. Notre Dame, they would dog us, make fun of us. Florida would say, we told you last year was a fluke. I want Miami to go undefeated, of course, but ACC championship game is the most important thing to me, period, this year. Straight up. But I understand where you're coming from. I hate those guys. I hate Florida. What's your guys' most hated team? Which team do you guys hate the most? For me, I truly believe that it's Florida. It's Florida. 100%. It's not Florida State. It's not Notre Dame. It's Florida. That fan base, there are a few, right? Like Georgia's a great guy. Georgia's a good dude. There are other Florida fans in here that are all right. If you go on social media, that fan base they've made it to where I just can't stand Florida. I can't. It's so bad. They're so delusional. They're so back and forth. A lot of hypocrites in that fan base. You know, one minute they want the head coach fired, the next he's the number one head coach in the country. You can't brag about winning because that game didn't count. But then if they were to win this year, they're going to do the same thing. I get they said there's some sort of 24-hour rule about after that the win didn't matter or didn't count. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Yes, I do. I hate Florida more than Ohio State. I do. Yeah. The amount of messages that I receive from Florida fans, they're delusional, man. I can't stand it. Michigan, butt nuts, FSU or Ohio State, Florida State, Virginia Tech. Okay, Syracuse. Yeah, kind of slowly starting to grow that hatred for that team. FSU, UF, or VJJs. Fair. You might have to delete the subscription. UF. You're lying on UF now? Nope. No, sir. Am not. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Couldn't hate Tennessee more either. But no, man. Florida fans, I'm so sick of the trolling on social media. What are they going to say when Miami beats them this year? It didn't count 2 years in a row? Lagway will be starting. You kept Billy. What's the excuse going to be? Anyways. Moving on. Speaking of, the devil, there's like 3 Florida fans in here. Ain't that something? You guarantee 100% that Florida will beat Miami this year. What does ChatGPT think? Because it will be right. Game 4. ChatGPT predicts a close victory for Miami, 31-28. Why? A tight rivalry rematch. Miami's aggressive offense, possibly led by Ward, which is not true. That's not true. Squeaks past in a thrilling finish. Not led by Ward. Not led by Ward. We're going to let that slide. All right. It meant Beck. Typo. AI can have a typo. It auto-corrected to Ward, I'm sure. I'm sure it auto-corrected to Ward. That's all. You know how your phone, like, it was supposed to be Beck. It's supposed to be Beck. Yeah. Let's move on. 4 W's. Week 5, bye week. Rest and recovery ahead of a big ACC matchup. All right. Florida State. Let me guess. The Florida State fans who said that's not right because it just mentioned Cam Ward and it's Carson Beck are now all of a sudden going to say, you know what? I changed my mind. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Remember all that stuff I said before about it being accurate?
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
I didn't read it. Chris Gaffney. Thank you very much. Chris, I'll read the message for the robot lady. I didn't realize it was muted. Tech mistake on my end, rookie mistake. You know, been streaming for like 9 years. Okay, what's worse? Listening to Florida fan talk shit or an Ohio State fan explain how that pass interference call was a good call. If you were to compare those two things, Ohio State by a million, for sure. The problem is, when's the last time Miami saw Ohio State? My interactions with Ohio State fans have been at a minimum for years, for a long time. Like, I talked to Cypher and like one other Ohio State fan. Florida, see, this is probably a personal thing for Coop. Florida fans stay in my mentions. They're constantly in my DMs, trolling, not accepting reality. And I see the hypocritical posts, the back and forth. It's Florida. It's Florida. Good to see you, Nick. It's Florida. It's Florida. Thank you, Chris, for the 5. I'll sit you atop your throne when we kick it back to the other screen. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for the love. But I get it, right? Like, I understand why there are people that would say Ohio State. For sure. But they might not even be number 2 for me. Anyway, moving on. Florida State, ChatGPT predicts a loss for the Canes. This is unbelievable. Why? Hostile Doak Campbell environment. And FSU's renewed injury under new staff tips this back and forth in FSU's favor. 28-24, Seminoles win. What I didn't do is I didn't tell it that myself and a bunch of Canes fans were going to be doing a Doak Takeover event and we were going to be there in person. That might have tipped the scale a little bit, but it's too late. We can't go back. We can't go back. All right, so first loss for the Canes off of the bye week. Bye week curse is back. An L to Florida State. Another bye week. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Now, this is scary. Coming up next is a weekday game, a Friday, which means it'll be a night game against Louisville. Friday game off of a bye week. Jeff Brom. But it's a big W. It's a big W. Miami gets revenge with strong play on both sides. I don't know what we're getting revenge for. I don't know what that's about. But Miami gets a W. Miami gets a W. So come on, play it. Play it.
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
You're not going to believe me, Chris. When I unmuted it, I accidentally pressed a button and remuted it. I'm not kidding. Chris, with another 5, says, ChatGPT has a point. Passing all those trailers on the way to the stadium can be a little intimidating. If you do win down in Doak, you get the heck out of there. You don't hang around. You get the win, you get the heck home. That's what you do, especially if it's a night game. Chris Gaffney. Thank you, Chris. Wait. I broke it. That's why. Hold on. Now this makes sense. Time out. My apologies. Give me just a second. I muted it on my end. It's 1000% fixed now. It's fixed. It's fixed. Yep, it's fixed. Okay. We're good. Let me put Chris Gaffney atop the throne here, and then we'll get back to it. It's fixed now, Chris. He's like, yeah, thanks, Coop. After I already sent the donations and the robot didn't read them out. AI, man. Am I right? AI? All right. What's up, Katie? You gonna have to take that Friday off. Yeah, I'm a little scared of that game. I'm a little scared. But 34-21, Miami Hurricanes victory. Weekday game against Louisville. Moving on. Stanford. This is a terrible football team. They're going to be lucky to win like 3, 4, maybe 5 games in 2025. This better be a big win. This better be a big dub. I'll take it. I'll take it. This seems about right, doesn't it, for a Miami Hurricanes team? You know, you bounce back against Louisville coming off of the second bye week. You get the W. You don't beat Stanford in the way that you should have, but you got out of there with a W. Like it was close until the fourth quarter, and then you pull away and you go up like 2 scores. This 100% makes sense. Ivy League style offense struggles against Miami's athletic front. Primeable win. All right. Yeah, I know, revenge. Oh, man. All right, here we go.
This is what it take to wear the U
Fixed.
inside of your helmet.
Fixed.
I want to be on top, rolling on the floor, laughing tears of joy, rolling on the floor, laughing tears of joy.
I will do just that for you. Just a moment. One day I'm going to have AI do all of this for me. So it's all automatic. I don't have to press any buttons or anything. Gabagal! Thank you for the 5. Let's see. What does primable mean? Does anybody know what primable is? I don't even think that's a word. Primable mean that's not a word. Is it? Primable. I don't think primable is a word. I legit do not think primable is a word. That okay, maybe I don't know. I don't know what that means here.
This is what it take.
Do we ask it?
On the side of your helmet.
You don't know how bad I want to make a joke me about you being on top. But either way, you're going to be on the bottom now, smiley face.
Chris Gaffney. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. I know I'm back and forth a lot, guys, but we're testing some stuff, so we're checking everything out, making sure it's working. Chris, with the Big 10. Thank you, my friend. Chris doesn't hate me. Y'all, he's been trying to call me for 2 months, and he thinks I'm ignoring his phone call. But I'm legit not. He does not hate me. He doesn't hate me. That's good to know. Thank you, Chris. Stanford is a dub. Is Coach Prime going to be there? Maybe. Primable equals prime 112. Also maybe. SMU. All right. It gave us a loss against Florida State. We had a close call kind of against Stanford. The Mustangs? A dub. I mean, 35-24. Why? Road game challenge, but Miami's superior talent pulls out a solid victory. This is wild. ChatGPT believes more in this team getting a victory over the Mustangs than I do. That's an 11-point win. It will always be different, Nick. It'll be different for every person. And that's just how it is. It depends on the prompt. The prompt and how much information you give it, and it basically you know how AI works. But yeah, it'll be different for every person. It's all based off the prompt, pretty much. Which is why you can really get detailed if you want. I could have let it know, that Carson Beck is the quarterback, year 4 for Cristobal. Even though it could go out and get that information, it doesn't know if it's right or wrong with the info. It just kind of scours the internet, gets what it can. I should have been a little more specific.
This is what it takes to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Keep grinding, my brother. Much love.
2. It can never be wrong. AI, the robots are always right. Just saying. But yeah, no, it can be wild sometimes, Nick. It's kind of part of the fun. It's part of the fun for me. Tim with the big 20. I'll sit you atop the throne. Tim taking over. Thank you for the love, man. How you been? I appreciate you, Tim. At some point, we'll move this over so I don't go back and forth. Maybe next time. Appreciate the love, my man. 35-24, 11-point win. Yeah, you can think of it that way. Think of it that way. This is the perfect example from Nick Snyder. He said, this is just as bad as when you sim a season in the college football console games. If you simmed the season for Miami on your PlayStation or Xbox, it'll be totally different than when I sim it. It's just kind of unpredictable. Depends on the prompt. There's some randomness to it. But this will be the official one for the channel. This will be the official one for the channel of what it came up with. So 1 loss only so far. Syracuse. It better not be an L. No longer have Kyle McCord. They should struggle a bit. More of a bottom tier ACC team. I'm calling it now. 8-point win. 28-20. Why? Revenge on tap for last year's loss. Expect physical play and Miami's defense to make key stops. So ChatGPT believes in Heatherman and this defense and the additions through the transfer portal. Miami's defense making key stops in the Syracuse game. I am kind of asking a lot for it to give an actual score prediction and to briefly summarize the game a little bit. It's asking a lot of it to do that. But that's what made it fun. I think that's what made it a little fun. Awesome, bro. Just adopted our grandson today. Let's go, Tim. Heck yeah. That's awesome news. Heck yeah. Hopefully things have been going well for you. I love to hear it. Your grandson is going to be a Miami fan, right? I mean, do I even need to ask this? I know you'll raise him right, Tim. I know you'll raise him right. No doubt. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. 2 games left. 2 games left. NC State. It should be a guaranteed dub. And it is, but too close for comfort. Typical Miami fashion once again. 27-23. Miami wins a tight conference clash. Miami prevails late on a defensive stand. What's funny so far is it does seem to believe that Miami will be better defensively. It has mentioned the defense a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, and kind of made it a point to say that that's something that helps them win the game. Okay. It sure does. Yeah, it does. Final game of the season for the AI prediction. No, it has it wrong. It did what how is it on game 12? It counted the bye weeks. Is that what it did? Hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It accidentally counted the bye week. That's why. I was about to say we have Pitt. We got to close out with Pitt here. Okay, that's why. Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. Probably a night game. Virginia Tech 24, Miami 21. Why? Cold weather road test. Hokies pull off an upset with a late chip shot field goal. So right now, ChatGPT has Miami losing to Florida State at Doak and Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. I think most do believe, even going into the season, like I don't think that Virginia Tech is going to be some sort of world beater. They're not going to be a top tier ACC team or anything like that. They have drones returning. They have a lot of question marks, but they had some question marks last season, and look at what happened. Doesn't mean it'll be even close again this year. Miami might blow them out of the water. Virginia Tech might blow Miami out of the water. I don't know. But I know that I have this game circled. And a lot of Canes fans do too, because it's in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech likes to play Miami tough. It'd be just like if Miami played Georgia Tech here late in the season. Can I be like fully transparent with you guys for a second? I would run my mouth going into that Georgia Tech game, but in the back of my mind, I'd be terrified. I'll just say it. I would be, at kickoff, I would be about to piss my pants. I'd be scared. Because Georgia Tech tends to give Miami a hard time. And I think that Virginia Tech could be kind of the same scenario here, same situation. We'll see. We'll see. Late November, possibly night game. Could be scary. Could be scary. Yeah, bad things always seem to happen. Yeah, I don't think Virginia Tech will be good. The problem is I wish that guaranteed a victory for the Miami Hurricanes. But we know that that's not the case. I wish it did. Okay, so that is 2 ACC losses. We don't know this for sure, but a third is probably a nail in the coffin. Probably not going to make it to the conference championship if they were to drop the final game of the season to Pitt. Here we go. The big reveal, sitting at 2 losses right now. Florida State and the Hokies. Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. A W for Miami, 31-17. Why? Season finale on the road. Miami's depth shines as travel-weary Pitt gets outmatched. Okay. All right. We could ask it. So that would put Miami at 10-2. Summary and projection. Ooh, there's some extra stuff. Okay. All right. Wow. Full breakdown. I want this all documented. I want this on YouTube. I want everything up here so we can compare. All right. Okay. Well, 10-2. Again, it's got the bye week stuff kind of mixed up. 10-2. Games lost, Florida State and Virginia Tech. One non-conference / misfire possibility. Okay, that's interesting. What else do we have here? Health and momentum after the late bye week. Road challenges, and I'm just reading it. We can react to it and critique it. I'm just reading it. Road challenges at Florida State and SMU. Expect tighter affairs. Cold weather vulnerability. Ain't that the truth? Particularly in late season away trips. Home field fervor. Is that a word? Is that like primable? In big matchups. Notre Dame, Florida, Louisville. Let me know if you'd like to tweak any assumptions like forecasting player performance or bowl projections. Who was the third loss? It just messed up. Again, I made a lot of jokes at the beginning of the stream. I'm pretty sure people caught on to it. It's not insanely reliable. It's going to have typos. It gets things wrong sometimes. But it's still interesting to have it do a prediction to see what it can come up with based on the information it has available, which is basically all of the internet. So it can pull all the info that it has available and try to make the most accurate prediction it possibly can, given the prompt that I have provided. So 10-2 would be the official prediction. So just ignore this, 10-2. So it does want to know if we want any more information. Should we need to find a way to word it and ask it about if it could predict the entire ACC and who would be in the championship in 2025? You think that would work? Let's see. I actually don't have a lot of I don't use ChatGPT. I'll say that. I don't use it, so we're doing this on the fly. We're kind of rolling with it. Florida is back. Okay. Good to see you, Gator Gang. I hope y'all go 11-1. Beck isn't good. Look at last year, but good luck. Tell me why Carson Beck isn't good. Timeout. 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 Tell me why Carson Beck isn't good. I'm just curious. Oh, there will be one. I'm still not confident in Mario Cristobal's game day coaching. That hasn't changed and will never change. Beck has never been good unless he has a run game or an elite target to bail him out. All right. All right. I wasn't even going to critique it or try to fire back with anything. Just curiosity. I wanted to see why you believe Carson Beck is not good. Okay. Pocket presence is bot arm. Is not great. His pocket presence is not great. Arm is not elite. All right. Yeah, the receivers still have a lot to prove. You know, you have a guy coming off of an injury, the transfer. JoJo has to show that he can step up and be that guy. There are definitely some question marks. I agree. Beck ain't the answer. I think the other thing people have to remember is for Miami fans, I mean, just be honest, Miami fans. You're 100% taking Carson Beck over Emory Williams, right? I mean, it's just life. It's competition. Somebody has to start. Somebody has to sit on the bench. You're not going to have a freshman probably come in and start as hype as, fans are about the guys coming in. It probably would have been Emory given some of his game experience. They would have had a competition, but probably. You're taking Carson Beck. You are. It's a guy who has played in big-time games. Miami fans and the coaching staff are going to feel like that they have surrounded him with weapons. So you're going to have a solid offensive line to protect him. You're going to have a good, solid stable of backs as long as they can stay healthy. You've got some depth there. Receivers to be determined. We're going to have to see. And you could maybe even argue the same with tight ends. We'll see. Got a transfer coming in. You got the Swiss Army knife. But I think that either way, fans are excited about bringing in a guy that's played a lot of football. He's not going to be intimidated walking into a lot of these ACC stadiums. He's played in Neyland. He's played against Florida. He's played against Bama. And win or loss, he's been in the big games. So I am actually pretty hyped for Carson Beck. I'm okay with the guy coming in and not being Cam Ward because I don't think that anybody can get up to that, at least not in the near future. I think he just needs to be okay. Get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and I think that the experience will be super helpful. But we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. Yeah, Luke Nickel, maybe, right? I just don't think there was any way Luke Nickel. The reason why I didn't compare Nickel and Beck is because I just don't. I don't see Mario Cristobal pulling the trigger and starting a freshman first game ever. But it might happen, out of desperation, or that might be what they're kind of forced to do. But I think it would have been between Emory Williams or whatever transfer portal quarterback that they get. And I think Canes fans would say, give me Carson Beck. I think they would. I hope he is. Good to see you, Workforce. I saw you pop in here. Ronald, appreciate you. So 10-2. 10-2. Let's see. Given the information provided on the Miami Hurricanes, would they play in the ACC championship game? Use any and all current information available to figure out which two teams would be in the conference championship. Does that make sense? I'm about to give ChatGPT a heart attack. It's not a question. I'm telling it. I'm telling it. I'm not asking it. I'm telling it. What's up, Christopher? Yo, good to see you, man. Let's see, what did Nick say? Tell it to act as a Vegas betting odds predictor. Then give you the most likely scenario of what teams will be in the ACC championship game and the expected outcome of that game. Okay, so let's see. Act as a Vegas betting odds predictor and give me the most likely scenario of what teams will be in the ACC championship. I'm just going to type it out the way you put it in there because it sounds great. And the expected outcome of that game. Okay, so let's delete what I put. This is where we were talking about the importance of the prompt. I'll just be honest. I didn't want to spend an hour trying to figure out what we wanted the prompt to be. You can be as specific as you want to be if you want it to be even more detailed. It's up to the person who puts it in. I think this sounds pretty good though. Act as a Vegas betting odds predictor and give me the most likely scenario of which two teams will be in the ACC championship game and the expected outcome of that game. I feel like I need to be super specific. It needs to know it's football. And give me the most likely scenario of which two teams will be in the ACC championship game this football season and the expected outcome of that game. We'll try it. We'll see what it says. ACC championship game this football season. Does that sound good? Yeah, right. If it assumed some wild sport, let's see. What do we got? Predicted ACC championship game this year for 2025 is Clemson versus Miami. Their advantage for Clemson: reigning champs, returning QB Cade Klubnik, plus a stacked defensive front and fresh defensive coordinator. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good information. Miami Hurricanes, look, it got cute and put a little emoji. Despite losing Cam Ward, see, typo. They added former Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, and beefed up their defense. Implied probability: Clemson 27%, Miami 24%. Other contenders, okay? SMU, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Florida State. I mean, whoa. Is Georgia Tech a sleeper in 2025? Yes, no, maybe. Who's the sleeper? Hold on, before we move on, before we look at the likely outcome prediction, if you set your Canes pride to the side, I know it ain't easy to do. Who do you think would be a sleeper team in the ACC? Who do you think could be a sneaky team that could potentially overperform a little bit, exceed expectations, and maybe sneak their way into the ACC championship game if something crazy happened? What if Clemson isn't as great as people think they'll be? What if they slip up a little bit this season? What ACC team could sneak their way in? I'm curious. Okay, true sleeper would be Stanford. You're not wrong. I have them winning like 5 football games. What do we have here? Virginia Tech. Okay, Duke. Duke in year 2 with Manny Diaz. A team that picked up the Tulane transfer quarterback. What was his name? I'm going blank. It's funny because Duke plays Tulane this season, and their quarterback transferred to Duke. Malik Murphy no longer there. That would be interesting. Mensa, that's right. Thank you, Sam. That's interesting. Okay. Georgia Tech could upset a few times this year. It would be the ACC thing for Stanford to make a run. Okay. Sleeper is Louisville from Katie. NC State. So we're all over the place. NC State from Tim as well, the Wolfpack. Georgia Tech. I personally would probably say Georgia Tech. And again, we're talking sleeper here. So you're not saying that they're going to make it to the conference championship, but just a sleeper pick. I would maybe lean Georgia Tech as well, man. I think I would. You guys thought I was going to say Florida State, didn't you? And y'all don't know me, do you? All right, let's take a look at the likely prediction here from ChatGPT. For the ACC championship game, Miami finally makes it again. ACC sleeper is these nuts. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's get the breakdown. Clemson wins 34-27. Okay, why Clemson pulls away? Let's hear it. Elite defense anchored by TJ Parker, Peter Woods, and a revamped defensive staff leads them to a stalwart performance. Okay, apparently that's better than primable. Late SEC level game planning. What is this? What is this? SEC level game planning? Under Dabo Swinney makes the game strategic. Is ChatGPT bias? Is it pro SEC? Whatever. Why Miami keeps it close? Carson Beck brings accuracy and leadership. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Talented defense with key losses compensated by offseason additions. Clemson jumps early, 17-7 at the half. Very specific here. Miami adjusts in the second half to put up 21 unanswered, but a final drive by Clemson capitalizes in crunch time to give them the victory. Wow. It appears to be, but isn't it also, it's influenced by the internet, right? Isn't it? I may have this wrong. I mean, because given that its source is going out and scouring the internet and pulling its info from there, it's going to reference social media posts maybe or websites and all these different sources. And I feel like that it could slowly start to make ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence bias. I mean, that's how I see it anyways. Run the ball. Stop the run. Duck has been praying for that for a long time, and it still ain't happened. Still ain't happened. Yeah, see, that makes sense. It actually does make sense that's why it would be that way. Yep. So again, all joking aside, not perfect. There were typos. There was a moment where it mentioned Cam Ward instead of Carson Beck. It had Miami at 10-3 before we did the ACC championship prediction thing because it had a typo or messed up with the bye week thing. But at the end of the day, it's just fun to see what it says. Look back and reference this at the end of the season and see who was closer. Because the majority of the community came together and voted on 12-0. I said 11-1. ChatGPT says 10-2
To where the U
with losses
on the
to
side of
Florida
your
State and
ICAI has factored in cement head coaching, which costs us at least a game a year.
and
While it is not
Hokies.
part of getting to ACC champ game, beating ND sets us up for big year. D is key. For me, Ohio State on hate, probably because I'm not on social media.
That
This is what it take
that makes sense. That makes sense.
to wear the U on the
That's
side
all.
of your helmet.
Appreciate the off-season Friday shows.
No problemo, Duck. They are officially back. We will be live minimum every Friday, and in July, we're going to be live about 4 times a week because the simulated season kicks off. Finally, guys. Finally, the simulated season. Coach Coop plays with post-game interviews. All that stuff is back in July. So we'll be live. We'll have to be live multiple times a week. Probably 3, 4, 5 times a week sometimes. Thank you. Duck, the mullet run for the 2. Tucci! Straight to the PayPal with the big 20. Factored in cement head coaching. Cost us a game a year. You're not wrong. Well, it's not part of getting the ACC championship game. Beating Notre Dame sets us up for a big year. D is key. The D is usually key. Yep. For me, Ohio State on hate because probably not on social media. Thank y'all. The Ohio State fan says, wrong again. Wrong again. Oh, really? Oh, really, Brew? Tucci, I'll put you up there with my man Tim. Thank you very much, Tucci. Always showing Coop some love. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you. How you been? How's life been? All right, so last look here. Last look. Today is George's birthday. 65, and I have achieved my goal. Now I need to set a new one. Aim high, George. Aim high. We need you around as long as possible for as many football seasons as possible to come in here, talk some trash. We need George at 80, 85, 90, 95 plus, calling into the shows, talking trash. We need George around for a long time. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, man. ACC championship game appearance, but losing it to Clemson. 34-27, 10-2 in the regular season, with losses to Florida State and Virginia Tech. Now, the funny thing is, the funny, not funny thing is Miami's probably going to have an uh-oh game. Until they prove otherwise, I have to believe that that's going to be the case. And by uh-oh game, I mean a conference game that Miami loses that they were not expected to lose. They were the favorite in this game. They should have won it. I think that still happens this season. And I have to see it to believe it to think that that changes. And it's just funny. Again, funny, not funny, that the artificial intelligence has Miami dropping to Florida State and Virginia Tech. Games that the Canes will most likely be the favorite in. Definitely that Florida State game, for sure. But it would be the Miami thing to do. This is what I wanted to say. It would be the Miami thing to do to lose that game to Florida State. Wouldn't it? It would be the Miami thing to do to go into the Florida State game with one loss or be undefeated, Virginia Tech, excuse me, and drop that game in Blacksburg with the potential ACC championship game on the line coming up, closing out the season with the final two games. We have seen it happen. I hope that's not the case, but it's just funny that it that's where it had the losses. It had the win against Florida. It had the win against Notre Dame, but it gave Miami 2 conference L's. Does Mario move to the hot seat after this outcome? No. If Miami continues to recruit at a high level, whatever you put into recruiting, that's person to person. But as long as Miami's got like a top 10, top 15 recruiting class. And Miami is getting 9, 10-ish wins, they're not going to put Mario Cristobal on the hot seat. Eventually, Miami fans would get tired of kind of just sitting in the middle there, I think, because we have pretty lofty expectations as Canes fans. Many of you have tasted greatness way more than I have as a Miami fan. It's been a lot of downhill since I've been a Canes fan. I hope that's, just coincidence. But anyways, Miami fans want to win now. Miami fans want to win today. You won a national championship this year, conference championship this year. Even 10-win seasons, 10, 11-win seasons for multiple years, if Mario Cristobal can do that. Because think, 5, 7, 10, now year 4. He can't get stagnant. He can't just hover around that and not be winning ACC championships, not making it to the college football playoffs. He's got to move on past that a little bit. So I don't think that it would put him on the hot seat, but Canes fans, after another year or two of not making it in, you come around to like year 5, year 6, Miami fans will start slowly kind of picking up the pitchforks. Wait a minute, maybe we need to change something. But a hot seat, I don't think so. No. I'll say this. Even if Canes fans were upset, the people up top still have so much love for Mario Cristobal. That's their guy. They would have done anything to get him. They're not just going to toss him to the curb because he only wins 10 games again in 2025. That's still a double-digit win season. It'll be a huge letdown if they're not in the conference championship, but I still don't think it would be enough that anyone is even considering the option of firing him or putting him on the hot seat. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Yeah, you need strength of schedule. You need Miami to be good. You want to play the best, right, George? I like that mindset. I like it. What's up, legend? Good to see you, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. All things considered, I really can't complain, and it wouldn't be right to complain. I'm up and about. I'm breathing. I'm kidney stone free. I got a roof over my head. I got food in the fridge. I can't even be mad, bro. I can't even be mad. Beck isn't traditional UM. That's true. I agree. ChatGPT knows Mario is a fraud. Hey, good to see you, bro. I appreciate you being in here. This was an interesting experiment. I want to do this every year. Just keep in mind it's my first year doing it. I didn't go to ChatGPT and practice putting prompts in or anything. We did it raw. We did it live. It's just the way I like it, right? Just the way I like it. In the moment, we just rolled with it, and this is what it spit out. This is what it gave us. 10-2 ACC championship game, but losing to Clemson. That's what ChatGPT believes. Lost to Florida State. Lost to Virginia Tech. And we'll chop it up down in the comments when this video goes up and see how heated people get. Notre Dame fans are going to say, yeah, right. Florida fans are going to laugh. Lagway will save that team. I wish I could say the same for Brent Pry and the Hokies. Going to be some coaching movement after this season. There are several coaches that are coming up on. They've been around a little too long. The team's been mediocre for a while, and in today's times, especially, there's so much movement. They're gonna have to find somewhere new to clock in. I'll say that. We here in Miami know when the first Fire Mario banner flies over the beach, the coach is a goner. It's true. Yeah, I mean, there would be pressure from the fan base for sure. But we'll see. We'll see. I appreciate all of the feedback tonight, the participation in the chat. Again, expect to see me every Friday for something. Next week might get a little weird because Friday is the 4th of July. So, I consider you guys my friends and my family. I won't be out doing anything, but I'm assuming most of you will. That's my fault. I don't have a life. So, that's on me. You guys will probably be out grilling, partying it up, shooting fireworks off and stuff, hopefully keeping all of your fingers and toes. So, we may go live on like Thursday or Wednesday. I don't know. I want to do the ACC tier list next week, where we're going to go through, because the season's getting closer and closer. We're going to rank every single ACC team, and that will also be something we can look back and see how close we were at the end of the year, because I did it last year, and there's something on there that's very obviously wrong, I believe. I was way off. Let me see if I was before we go. Let's see. That was one of my favorite streams from last year. See if I can find it. Okay, so keep in mind, we did this ACC tier list in February. Holy smokes, I did it early. Wow. Okay, I did it in February last year. This year, we're going to do it in July. Let me find it. Okay, so this is what I had. Is there anything here that stands out to you guys? I mean, again, this was February, before any games were played, before spring football even happened. Is there anything, minus Notre Dame? They always put Notre Dame on these ACC tier lists. I got to put them somewhere. I just put them at the end in trash. Don't pay attention to Notre Dame. Is there anything super obvious here from last year? Because I feel like you guys are going to notice it. It's quite funny, if I'm being honest. It's pretty funny. Bro, I don't run. I don't hide. I've been doing this 9 years. There's no need. I've embarrassed myself plenty of times. I ain't worried about it. Most of y'all have been pretty close to seeing me butt-ass naked. Some of you maybe have. I don't know. The point is, I had Florida State as a top contender with Clemson. These are in order, by the way. These are in order. So as a contender in 2024, I had Florida State, then Clemson, then Louisville, then Miami. I could not have been more wrong. Florida State needed to go down 3 spots, 3 tiers. Not spots, tiers. Florida State needed to be down here. Yep. So that's why these are fun. I love looking back. Some people get so heated over it, and they're, man, you suck. I can't believe you thought this. I love looking back at this to see what were we thinking? What was I thinking? I went off of that miracle season for them with Jordan Travis and Norvell, and just missing out on the playoffs and stuff with the injury, and I put them as contender. I had pretender for SMU. They obviously were up here. So it would have been Clemson, SMU. To be fair, Miami was a contender, though. They were close. You could say pretender if you want. The point of contender was not to pick the 2 in the ACC championship. It was to pick 3 to 4 teams that we thought would be in the mix. That was the point. And I had Miami right on the outside. Right at the in-between, could go pretender, but right at the edge of being a contender there. So it's just interesting to look at. So we're going to do this again. And we will break it down. We will talk about each team. We'll talk about coaching changes, roster changes, big additions or losses. Hit on some high notes going into this season, how we think it could affect them. And that's the stream that we're planning for next week. And I love all the input. People get hyped and excited for those. Rep your team. Rep your team. If you're a Georgia Tech fan, SMU fan, Florida State fan, jump in here. Make your case for why your team should be higher or lower on the tier list. They're a lot of fun. But that'll be the plan. Next week at some point. But probably not Friday, because y'all are probably going to be grilling out. Yeah, but the obvious was Florida State. Florida State being up there. A shout out to Tim and Tucci, by the way. Tim and Tucci, top dono of the night. Biggest D from Tim and Tucci with the 20. But also shout outs to my man and good friend Duck, a.k.a. the Mullet Run, with the 2. Chris Gaffney with multiple donations, 10, 5, and 5. Tropigal with the 5 as well. Thank y'all for the love. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Closing thoughts. I know I continue to repeat myself with this stuff, but there are very big things planned for 2025. Notre Dame diss track, possible Florida State diss track. I'm going to change the overall look and feel of some things on the stream, overlays, camera angles, all that good stuff. It's just a slow process. A lot of testing, trying to iron out any tech issues and things. Virtual season starts next month. A lot of really, really fun things. And we're getting close. It's about to be July. we're going to blink and it's going to be football season. And I couldn't be more excited. I need football in my life. It helps me so much mentally. It's so busy and I have so much to look forward to at the end of every week that nothing really bothers me. You know, it's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And seeing you guys go back and forth, even when you're arguing. Look, Virginia Tech, Florida State, Florida. We got all sorts of fans in here. And it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. So thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. When it goes up, don't be shy to leave your thoughts and comments and stuff on it. I think it'll be fun to chop it up a little bit and see what y'all think. But I'm going to get on out of here. I'll see y'all when I see you. ACC tier list soon. Let's find the outro button. On the outro button. You guys know what to do. And look, this is fair. This is fair. You know, my friend, always have a voice here. Whether I agree or disagree or anyone else agrees or disagrees, you can always speak your mind here. Always. Forever and always. And I respect it and I appreciate it. For real. But y'all know what to do. I'll see you when I see you. Have a good weekend, guys. And you know what? Let's take just a moment to shout out the top fans this stream. Eventually, I will find out what this means because I still don't know. But the top 3 holding the crown tonight were Tim, Tropigal, and Duck. Look at that. We got 2 Florida fans in the top 10. I think this is people chatting. I think this is people being active in the chat. If I had to guess, but I don't know for sure. That's what Nick says as well. That makes sense. I think it's people who are most active, going back and forth, interacting with people. So shout outs to the top fans this stream. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
This is what it takes to wear you on the side of your helmet.
Co-op. I missed the stream.
Well, that's unacceptable. I can't believe it. Do you not like me anymore? Thank you, Bahama. I appreciate the love, my friend. I think that ChatGPT might surprise you a little bit. Let me know. I'll be looking for your comment. Thank you for the 305, my friend. Thank you.